Hey everybody, welcome to Average Guy Opinions. I'm your average guy, John Carelli. I have a surprising amount of energy for the type of day I've had. I'm just worn out, but I'm not as worn out as I was before. Maybe it's because I found out that my father is, whew, is apparently going to be is apparently hooked up assisted living finally, and that we should get in there Saturday. Tonight's Monday. But I was lucky. My day at work was long, but it was easy, if that makes sense. I've mentioned my severe needs child that I'm with, and I'm just sequestered with him all day, and went fine. Okay, but that's not what I came here to talk about. What I came to talk about is sifting through a loved one's belongings and how weird that can often be. And I'm sure all of you have gone through it. Jennifer, I know you have. Mom, I know you have. I should know more. I wish I could tell exactly who's watching, but lately had anywhere from 3 to 5 views, and I know that Jennifer and Mom are two of those views. So thank you for being my number 1 and 2 fans. I will not rank you because that will not go well either way I choose. So I'm also happy because I did a fun little comedy show tonight where it was trivia and Connect Four on like Zoom, Skype, whatever you want to call it, and that was a lot of fun. And I'm really proud of some of the stuff I came up with comedically. And I don't know when that will get edited and distributed, but I will find out as soon as it's out, and I will put it on my Facebook page. And I think you'll enjoy. It was a fun little show, and I was glad to be a part of it. But on to what I was going to talk about. Weirdness. Weirdness when you're going through your father's belongings and he was part of a crazy family and all the stuff that I'm finding. So I've explained a lot about my father's family dynamics before, how his oldest sister, my Aunt Joanne, produced The Deer Hunter and, come on, the biggest flop in history. Geez, John, Heaven's Gate, and she also produced a movie called The Sicilian. Those are the only three. She, I think, dated and had not an affair, but a relationship with Michael Cimino, and the director of all three of those movies. And he died a few years back, and I think she absorbed his estate, which was worth a lot. We got some characters in my family. My uncle, who my dad had a really bad relationship with was almost exactly 2 years older than my dad. I found out. Whoops, technical difficulties because I'm bouncing the table. But okay, just to prove, I didn't know my uncle's birthday, but look, you can't really see. You can see what it is. You can't see the great details of it. This is his dog tag. As I've mentioned before, my dad dodged the Vietnam draft, and in huge part to my uncle who helped him through that process because he went and did at least one tour there as a pilot, as a Marine, and then came back and said, "You don't want any part of this." But apparently their relationship was pretty awful outside of that. My dad has told me that one time when they were real young, I want to say like maybe in their early teens, my uncle apparently pointed a rifle at him and threatened to shoot my father, and kind of held my father hostage for a couple hours in one of their bedrooms. And when my father told my grandmother about it, she's like, it was no big deal, the way he put it. And he really has told me, and I think I've mentioned this before too, that he never felt loved by his mother. And I can't imagine that. I've often not felt loved by my father or even my stepfather, but I can't imagine that's got to be it's a hole. It's not got to be. It is. It's obviously a big hole my father's never been able to fill. And and my mom has confirmed that. She's like, oh no, he always was the black sheep of the family. So we had my aunt, my uncle, my father, who was, and it's a classic, right? My father was the middle of the three boys. He is the third of the fourth children. Classic invisible child. And then the baby was my uncle Artie, who was a wonderful young man and gay, bisexual, and died of AIDS in 1988 before he even turned 40. So all family histories and dynamics are interesting. But yeah, so I found a bunch of my Uncle Al's stuff. Now, I don't know if my Uncle Al is dead or not. My father's cut off ties with him. He's made claims that he's a thief in terms of my grandmother's estate that was worked out nearly 25 years ago. But all of a sudden, I find all this stuff that why does my father have these things that are my uncle's possession? Has not only his dog tag, his social security card. Um, this really weird picture now. I don't know how well you can see that, but that's my uncle. He looks very young. I'm gonna guess 16 or 17, with a couple of rifles and like a fedora, and it looks like either a wild pig or a dog that he killed. It's a very unusual picture. There's the social security card. I don't want you ne'er-do-wells stealing the number, so I'm not going to show it to you. Um, yeah, like all kinds of like passport photos and passports themselves. Um, here's a good one. This is just, he just looks like such an insurance salesman. That's there's Uncle Al right there. Um, and yeah, oh, passport too. There's a, this was with the social security card. It's classic. I may keep it just because it's really cool and old and tells you what to do in case you lose your social security card and how to replace it. And it looks like it's got to be from the 70s. And then the passport. And next time I'll show you my grandfather's passport. I got to show that to my mom the other day, and it's wonderful. But yeah, this is like from 1976. There's my uncle again. Now, I always liked my uncle. I found him fascinating. Like I said, he was a pilot. I never got to ride in a plane with him, but I did one time go to the airport and he showed me his Cessna, and that was cool. I have pictures of that somewhere. He married a Filipino woman that he met when he was when he was stationed either in or around Vietnam. I have two half Filipino cousins, Conrad and Christine. I haven't seen them in a very long time either, and it is sad the way a family gets shattered and all the lies and half truths and stories and mysteries that go with it. Maybe the candles, ooh, add to the mystery, but it is. It's a really, it's just a sad story, you know. And this is just me scratching the surface of some of the papers that I will find. I found pictures of the funeral. I have pictures of me and my father and Uncle Al at my grandmother's funeral. Um, Weird stuff, very weird stuff. Well, not weird, just I don't know. I'm not gonna get super emotional about it right now, but it was going through this stuff was eye opening to say the least. Oh yeah, and so my dad was born on October 24th, 1946, and that's United Nations Day. Not that that's of any import, but it's just a little sidebar to when he was born. Now, found out just this evening, didn't know my uncle's actual birthday. My uncle was born on October 30th, 1944. So they're almost exactly 2 years apart. And this tells me that for some reason, my grandmother and grandfather really like to have sex the last week in January. Maybe they like to celebrate Valentine's Day a couple weeks early. But I find it kind of funny that they're almost exactly 2 years apart. I don't know when I believe my uncle Artie was born in June, but I don't know that, and I don't know my Aunt Joanne's birthday either. But it's been quite an interesting little path I've been on tonight, just going through a box of stuff. I'm supposed to shred a lot of it. I'm not necessarily going to shred all of it, though. I'm finding interesting photographs. I'm finding pictures of my cousins, of my grandmother, of my I don't know, those are great uncles, my grandmother's brothers. I don't know what they call them. I should know family trees better, but I don't. But it has been a little interesting ride, and saddening too, because I've heard so many horrible things about my uncle. I never believed them anyway. I know he wasn't perfect, and I know that he was loved more than my father was for sure, and I know that he did. You know, he probably felt threatened by my father. My father's a classic tough guy. He really is, and I can imagine the way he is dying is not obviously. No one pictures the way they die unless you're one of the lucky ones that get to lie there in bed and you have loved ones around. You just kind of close your eyes and go to sleep forever. But I don't think my father certainly didn't foresee the dwindling health and the weak person that he would become before he dies, and that's got to be hard for him. And because he really was classic tough guy, Italian New Yorker. Um, I just feel bad about the whole thing. I'm looking forward to getting him into assisted living this weekend, and hopefully, maybe I wouldn't say turning his life around, but hopefully he can find some happiness at the end. That's what I'm really hoping for. All right, so there's that. Hopefully some more mysteries. Ooh, ah. Get your tarot cards out, guys. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.